Alrighty guys, welcome to another video here. Today I will be talking about our scorecard feature. Okay, I think the scorecard feature is super cool, and I'm going to discuss how we can implement such a feature to improve competition in the office, to improve investment in the office, and to obviously show better data, of course, for new agents coming in, to give them a true understanding as to what it really takes to be successful in this business. Okay. So the scorecard here, you can see in the top with all the names and all the colors. Okay. We wanted to show or keep track rather than AV wise, because obviously you can keep track of AV in the office. You can see who's in the leaderboards. But I like rewarding those who take action, okay, who are hard workers, because it's the inputs or the outputs into reality that bring your fruit, okay? And sometimes just measuring people's fruit can be, not for everybody, but sometimes it can be not encouraging, discouraging for people to week after week not be recognized, not be noticed. Okay, so this is really for people to compare or compete without having to go ask questions or having to see the AB leaderboard. We can compete on outbound activities and inbound activities, meaning deals won. Okay, so here we just got activities leader. Okay, who's doing the most activities? Now in our funnel, in our funnel metrics and our other videos, if I go to activity log, these are our outbound activities: cold calls, text messages, Facebook DMs, LinkedIn DMs, Instagram DMs, cold emails. Now we can add more to this. We can add next gen. We can add marketplace. We can add quote wizard. We can add Facebook inbound marketing leads. Right? We can integrate this with other systems. We want to get the market's problems first, solve those while we have people that are actually invested and actually taking action. We can get all that figured out. But for the base model, we're just measuring outbound activities. So text messages, Facebook, like I did cold DMs, and like I said, in the WAP, I'm going to teach you more about it, but about that cold system. But we have an opportunity where, if you comparing a 250 hitter to someone who's not doing 250, and they have and they're, you can just look over on average, how many deals are they uploading every single day? Or how much are they spending in text messages? Or how much are they spending in next gen? How many leads are they pulling in next gen? So the scorecard is cool because it gives you insight, full transparency as to what your team members are doing. And this is really only built for the team. It's not meant for you to see other teams. We can build that, but I only have one. There's only one leader working on this, and that is me. And now that I'm not necessarily a leader anymore, I still am kind of, but not really. I don't have the incentive to take on other agents. But because I want to prove to everybody that I'm here to provide value and to help people think and offer new innovation, new processes in their business, that I'm going to add people to this team here so we can all compete with one another and we can see what one another are doing. Full transparency. Okay, so you can see activities leader for the month, November 1st and November 30th, Anthony Wright is leading in activities. He's doing more cold calls and he's doing more text messages than everybody else. And then you have me, and then you have Sarah. Shout out Sarah. Now, here's the thing. This is all manually tracked. So, of course, sometimes we do forget days, okay? And I get it. That's why we want to make this more automated and more seamless for you guys, because it is tough. Even I've missed days. There's times where I've missed weeks filling out my info. And that does give us, skewed data, of course. But I want people to see the value in this tool so we can get to the automating parts of this, okay? Meaningful convos, all right? This is who is having the most meaningful convos. So how we define a meaningful conversation over at the Bit Raiders is a conversation that was positive, like positive response, yes, I'm interested, or something that lasted like 2 minutes long. Okay, so it doesn't matter if the conversation finished and it was a quality prospect or it wasn't. We want to measure our meaningful convos. How many people did we talk to today where we had a meaningful convo? They were interested either, and we got to a decision whether we can help them or not. Okay, so meaningful convos. So typically, you're going to have a lot of meaningful convos. Now, based on my numbers and the people that I've had meaningful convos with, typically half of them are not quality to get onto to a presentation, or I pass them over to a referral partner because they need an ACA plan. Okay, so meaningful conversation, half of them will drop off to presentations. So you can see who's doing more meaningful convos, who had the most meaningful convos this month, or even today, right? So it looks like I'm in the lead right now with more meaningful convos than my teammates. But this is why it's important too, because if we started considering and competing on meaningful convos or presentations, it's going to encourage you it's going to encourage you to remember to track your deals. Because what if your leader could make today's spiff metric-based or outbound activity-based? So if you are a new agent and you are making $500 and you are in an office that's filled with hundreds of people, and you may they miss out on you, they don't see you, and you don't get recognized for the hard work that you're doing because you're not on the deal leaderboard yet, but you're doing 500 calls, you're having meaningful conversations, you're on the phone all day. Okay, so this is an opportunity where now your leaders can offer spiff money based on who had the most meaningful convos today, or who had the most activities today, who had the most presentations today. So even though you didn't get the deal and you're ultimately not going to get paid by US Health Advisors this week, what the leaders can do is reward you for your hard work, because obviously you're putting the time in and you're putting the presentations in, and they will fall down the funnel with a little bit of tweaking on your close rate or your close, or a little bit of better improvements in your discovery, in your spending, right? The deals will fall through to the bottom. Okay, so the scorecard is just going to give us an opportunity to compete, and we can even do cool things like that. Like maybe we can do a race, and then ideally, if we have multiple teams on this too, we can check out the outbound activities. So like Bound to Loyalty has 5 presentations done today versus team Reapers. All right, they have fucking 13 meaningful combos today. And then maybe we can do spiffs on a team basis. So maybe with whatever team is working the hardest, even though maybe it doesn't come down show in the AV week after week, what we could do is encourage and incentivize the actual actions that it takes to get to a closed deal. Okay. But with that scorecard being mentioned, what's cool about GetMyKPI is that we can run the scorecard in many different areas of the business. Okay, so maybe we do a cost ranking of who has the most VanillaSoft dials. Okay, now or closed deals, if we see someone that has more VanillaSoft dials and we're doing trainings on VanillaSoft, maybe we should go find that person and have someone who calls the VanillaSoft 3 times a year doing the training. Okay, so we can measure, who has the most deals from VanillaSoft. That's a whole new competition. $500 to whoever can close the most deals VanillaSoft this month. Okay. Cost rankings. Who's spending the most money on Marketplace? Who's spending the most money on Inquiry? Who's spending the most money on NextGen? Okay, we can see which avenues are receiving the highest spend. And then at the same time too, we can measure where the deals are coming from. So even though we have a high cost and spend in NextGen, but our team looks like about 40% of our deals came from VanillaSoft. So what happens if we maybe take $1,000 away, or we cut our costs in NextGen a little bit and we allocate it more towards something else, text messages, scraping or labor, right? Maybe we get and hire an assistant to help us with our business and help us clean. We could save some money, right? And then maybe we can add more outbound activities, ultimately bringing more people into the funnel, right? There's so many things here with the scoreboard that we can do on a competition level, and we can see who's doing what, who's winning where, and to see in real time, like, oh shit, Brandon got here at 8 a.m. and he's already spent $200 on NextGen. Damn, I need to get to work. What was he doing? What was I doing? Sleeping in or whatever the fuck. All right, so we can do more with the scorecard. I mean, all you got to do kind of is go up here, add new metric, and we can even use the sales AI to ask as well, like who's leading in book calls today, or what team has leading presentations today. And you can see who's really putting the work in, and we can even add incentive-based outbound activity as well. So that's my quick video on the scorecard feature and GetMyKPI. If you have any questions, please let me know. We still got that $1 trial, guys. It's not going to be around very long. Trust me. If we automate this process, it becomes less manual and more automated. It'll reflect it. Okay. As much as I want to help everybody, but this is a business at the end of the day, and this is valuable too, because if we can help you increase an agent's income by $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, this is worth $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Okay, so see our WAP too. Again, go to our WAP. If you have any questions, let us know. See you in the next video.